delete the factory rear airbags. A lot of people convert to springs. That's what I did. And I actually added helper bags inside the springs, the Firestone kit, using the Metal Tech spring replacement kit, which is a little difficult to see here. You can see the perch there. On the driver's side, it has an additional spacer of about 1/4 inch, just to account for the weight of the driver and the fuel tank. The black piece under the blue bag is actually a 3D printed part that I built, or that I made out of TPU. The reason for that is the Metal Tech kit has a bolt. The old kit, let's say it that way, that protrudes and it was poking into the bottom of the bag, so I just made a flat surface by making a shim that goes over it. That actually has a pocket so everything fits and won't fall out. The new kit is flush across the top. Anyway, one thing I wanted to do with these helper bags is actually gain control over them with the factory air compressor. Some people have just hooked those up directly to the factory system, and I was not successful with that. Like, you know, typically your heights are different. I guess you can mess around with the leveling, but I found the compressor wanted to run often, so I just wanted to get manual control over these. And so if you look at the factory system, and now I'm looking at the driver's side rear behind the the driver's side tire. It's on the left side. You've got the low pressure tank, which is here. And as you'll see on the front of the low pressure tank, there are some solenoids. There are 3 of those. You've got one that opens the tank coming from the compressor. You've got one for the right side and one for the left side airbag. Here, and it's kind of hidden, but up under this little skid plate, we'll say, is the factory compressor. I'll do a separate video showing the wiring, but there's quite a bit of wire. I think it's maybe, let's call it 6 wires, maybe 7. That if you want to go through all these solenoids, you've got to basically open this one, open this one, open this one, in order to inflate the manual airbags. For me, I didn't need control over the airbags independently. I just wanted to inflate or deflate. So what I did is, this is the line coming from the factory compressor. I just cut that line, got an adapter that goes from 1/8 inner to 1/4 inner. So this is the airbag size, or the line size that came with the Firestones. So cut that here. So what I'm doing in this case, I'm bypassing all of this, so I don't have to worry about opening and closing all these solenoids. This line runs into a Y. And basically I'm taking air from through the Y to go to the right side rear airbag. You know, the Firestone, which you can see a line there, in the left side. I also wanted to monitor the pressures for these, just to kind of understand, you know, how much pressure it takes. And I think these go up to 100 pounds. I mean, they'll take a lot of pressure. But I wanted to understand, you know, just what was in and out. And so the idea I came up with is to buy one of the Bluetooth or the remote TPMS or your tire pressure monitoring systems. So you'll see there, I've got another set of those Y connectors, and I'm using a right rear, or actually a front right and a front left sensor from those kits off of Amazon. They're about, you know, anywhere from 15 to 30 bucks, depending on which one you get. And that allows me to see the pressures going in the back. Again, I know these are all joined together, probably getting the same reading regardless, but it does seem to show just a slight pressure difference between the two. But it gives me an overall view of the pressure in the system. And I can see that on the dash. And I found out how to basically connect the wiring under the dash. It's just 3 wires in this case, which is nice when you do it the way I'm doing it instead of 5 or 6. And I actually use the factory up and down switch to control them. Anyway, I thought this might help. Anybody's wanting to do it, feel free, reach out with questions. You can always, you know, do manual control, which is what I had before. You can see that, but I had just the Schrader valves back here. And I used those before just to inflate and deflate manually. Got them on either side of my trailer hitch connector, but I wanted to have control from inside the car, or inside the GX.